What is up, people? Today I actually want to talk to you about Black Ops 2. I spoke about my first impressions, what is going on. I told you about the patches. I think Treyarch, they've been trying to fix their game because they've had a lot of problems since its release. There are people complain, people just bought the game and said it's same old shit and decide to return it, put it that way. And there are still people going to be buying this game. In Christmas, I still think that this game is going to continue to sell. Like every year, a Call of Duty game just sells. I still see people asking me, "Are you doing giveaways?" Because they actually want the game, trying to get the game, even though they know there are some problems in it. As I told you guys, what's happening right now? This is the ladder. If you want to play this game, I would say that the best console to play it on is the Xbox, followed by, you can say, the Wii. I actually think the Wii U version of this game is actually better than the PlayStation 3 version, because for some reason everything seems to be running smoother than the PlayStation 3, and last will be the PlayStation 3. The reason being because at the moment right now, we on the PlayStation 3, we suffer with a hell of a lot more lag than Xbox users. And if you watch some of my videos, you'll tend to actually see some of the lag that's actually there. There are times like where you're spraying someone with a gun, you're constantly firing right in the chest, and he's running away from you. And what happens is you actually empty your clip, and once you actually have to reload, he just turns around and shoots you in one bullet. I mean, you watch the kill cam, he doesn't show that. The kill cam actually shows him turning around, and it's about the 9 or 10 shots at you. But I only saw one shot. It looked like a pistol shot. I just can't understand that why in both feeds and both systems we're not seeing the same thing. And the more I know, my internet is 100 megabytes per second. But before I actually just start harping on that, let's just break down everything into smaller segments. What happened first was that Nuketown was actually taken out. People complained, Nuketown came back, but the only time you can actually play Nuketown now is in Mosh Pit. And Mosh Pit, why does it that? It plays all these other smaller maps, different types of things such as like Capture the Flag, Hardpoint, Headquarters. Headquarters is one of the best, I think, for ranking up. I really think they do think so. But it's best to stay within Mosh Pit. Don't go everywhere else, because Mosh Pit gives you small maps, so you get your kills very easily. You get score streaks very easily. You'll be able to cap points and actually capture headquarters much more faster and easier. I just sit in Mosh Pit the whole day. As well as in Mosh Pit, what happens is that it also separates people from parties. I will say sometimes that's what the use was. It is supposed to connect different people, some people who are not in a party. Put it that way. That's what most of the time it actually does. But in this section, it's not like how in Modern Warfare 3, the Mosh Pit here has some people. I see some people coming in with like 3 from the same party, and I hate playing party players because they all come from the same region, so you get massive lag. Let's put it that way. I've also been playing with my friend K Magnum Freak C, King WWE Fan 1, and I joined his party, and he's in America, okay, and I'm in Japan. Yo, the lag I face is hardcore. That's what I'm saying. It's hardcore. There are moments where I'm running around and I'm just freaking opening bullets. I'm not talking like distance, I'm talking about close range. The man is standing in front of me and I am opening up. I'm using the R870, I'm using the PDW, I'm using all those guns close range. The guy is not even freaking seeing me, and he's just turning around and killing me. Or in some cases, he just looks at me, he reloads, and he shoots me. And I'm like, what the shit? And I do all the things. I do the drop shots, the jumping around. I do all those wild maneuvers that you're supposed to do to actually get away from people, but it's still actually occurring. So that's one thing I'll say about the lag. PlayStation 3 is suffering. The other thing I'll tell you is that I don't know why, but I've got the patch. The patch is patch 104. And if you know what the patch is about, what they did was they made assault rifles much more powerful. They made SMGs less powerful. They destroyed the shotguns. The R870, like, it can't fire the same way as it used to. What they tried to do was to bring down the SMGs, the shotguns, just about everything else other than assault rifles. And want assault rifles to get better. They said they made the concussion grenades, those kind of things, slightly lower, that you can move around and you won't get stuck for a long time. I don't know. I got thrown. These guys are still throwing like flashbangs and shock grenades, and they're still throwing all those shit at us, and I'm just stuck there, just frozen. I can hardly freaking move. The guy's just killing me. So that, and also shockwaves. If you're gonna patch anything, you should freaking patch your shockwaves, because these guys just keep on throwing. If you play like, for example, Hardpoint, you'll get like 4 guys who are just aiming shockwaves. They're not even worried about actually killing you. They're just gonna throw shockwaves so that you can't move, and then they run up to you and kill you. I'm like, oh god. I know for a fact that they didn't make the purpose for shockwaves for that. It was meant for you to throw it on the map and leave it somewhere. That's what it's meant for. It wasn't meant for you to use it like this, using a grenade. There's some guys I've seen, like, they also use the shockwaves in a bad way. They use it for camping. They actually put down their bouncing berry and they put a shockwave on top of it. So sometimes I'll run into the shockwave and I get hit. I'm stuck. I can't move. And then all of a sudden the freaking bouncing berry goes off and kills me. And even with the bouncing berry, if you run over it now, it makes a noise like tit tit tit, and then it goes up and blows up. It's a little bit better, but it's still difficult. I still find it's as difficult to actually get away from these shockwaves. So in that aspect, I don't hate those things. I don't think noobs play this shit. What else can I say about? Okay, my one tactic in Nuketown. I don't care what you guys think. When I want sniper rifles, I want camo. Nuketown is the best place to get it. You just hide underneath the garage and you just sit down there. You call it camping if you want, and you just aim down the scope. Any single person who exits the house on the opposite end and they run towards you, they're gonna get put away. I mean, yesterday I got a couple of shots where I shot one bullet. It went to three guys. Three guys were running up the same passageway, coming straight towards the middle of the map, and I can see them from the garage across in the house. So yeah, that is a good spot to camp at, and there are other guys who also know it. So there are some maps where I run into it and I just check the snipers pulling my move. They're on the opposite side of the actual map and they're sitting down just sniping. So that's the only way you can get like camos. I found that camping is the best way to get camos because it took me so long just to get the MP7 and I got the DSR, I got the gold camos for that. I'm trying to work on the other ones, but like if you want to get like a 5 kill streak, you have to camp. You gotta camp your ass off to get the camos, whether you like it or not. Okay, so that's that aspect. Next thing I'll say is that within this patch, they said they fixed some of the freezing shit. I mean, my console wasn't freezing, and now I'm actually scared why I actually put on the patch. This last weekend I was freezing a lot. What happens is that if I go into zombies and it freezes, at least once when I'm playing Black Ops, it must freeze once. I must reset my console and then after it starts working perfectly for the next like 7-8 hours. I don't know why it does that, but in general it's bad because when the PlayStation 3 actually has to reset, it has to restore all the memory and like it can corrupt your system. You can break your system over this game. That's what you must know. And I don't know, the PlayStation 3 is just freezing. It doesn't do it all the time, I will say that, but I'm telling you now, it does it once. If you're a hardcore gamer and you play this game for about 4-5 hours, it's gonna hit you once. You're gonna get a freeze when you put this thing on. For me, it happens when I first start playing, it freezes. So yeah, that's all I can say about that within the patch. And as I told you guys, I used to love the R870. I used to run around just blasting fools. Now I find it's much more harder because when I'm shooting these guys just running around, it's like they change. It's not only that they changed. What they said was they changed the inches, meaning that when you take a shot, it's slightly more harder for you to get on contact, so that you actually have to move the gun slightly and then shoot. That's what they did when they said they moved by so many inches. That's what they were saying. That when you're actually trying to hit someone. Before I could just raise my gun and just point it at him and blast him. Now I've got to get the cursor onto the guy and then blast him. And that's kind of hard because most of the time I'm running to guys with freaking PDW. I'm running to guys with that LSAT. They're freaking ready to blast the shit out of you. You don't have time. With shotgun, I used to love just pulling that thing up and just blasting. That's what I like doing. Because that's what I do when these guys camp. You have to go, most of the time in headquarters, the best gun you can use is a shotgun because you need to go out and clear these guys out who are sitting there. So, yeah, I mean, I honestly feel they destroyed the R870. So, I don't know what to do with shotguns. And that was one of the best shotguns to actually use. So I'm right now. I'm just sticking with camping with the DSR, and then I run around sometimes with the MP7 in that aspect. So that's what I said about the patch. The patch hasn't fixed freezing, and it's made assault rifles better. I would say that's kind of interesting and intriguing. All you guys who play assault rifles, I've been starting to play with it. I started playing with the SCAR. I played with a couple other few guns. I'm just trying to get all the attachments for those guns and just get into the rhythm of playing with them. I used to play the SCAR a lot in Modern Warfare 3, so I'm interested to see how these guns work. And I also know that if you put select fire on it, it'll shoot better. Because most of these assault rifles, they fire just 2 to 3 bullets. It's like bursts. I don't really like bursts. That's why I used to like SMGs. You can just freaking spray the gun. Like, it's not like a noob. When I say spray, I mean like you can lock in the target and put a couple of bullets into him to make sure he goes down. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I'm going to learn how to use the assault rifles. So that aspect is okay. So the main thing you need to know is that at the moment right now, they haven't fixed the connection. They made assault rifles better. They've decreased the SMGs and the shotguns, made them lower. And last thing I'll talk to you about right now is with the skills matchmaking. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I just want to bring this to all guys' attentions. Have you noticed all your favorite YouTubers are not using prestiged accounts? I only think of like one or two guys. I saw, for example, I think Redneck it was, and there's only like one or two commentators that actually are using prestige accounts. I'm sure Woody's doing it. He does a road to series, but people like White Boy, he doesn't look like he's prestiged. What's his name? J Nasty, all his gameplays, he's uploading 101 gameplays and that kind of stuff. All those are done on like noob accounts. Like all these guys are doing noob accounts. Even what I heard is that the other guy was Optic Scumpy. What he was doing, he's in Optic, right? He's in a freaking pro clan. He was actually killing himself. Someone actually screenshotted on Twitter. This guy went 0 and 200. He killed himself 200 times to lower his KD and lower his points just to get into another lobby. I don't blame him. That's what I want to say to all these guys who are making those videos. I don't blame you guys. I mean, I've been trying so hard. I'm at Prestige 3 right now. And I don't know. I mean, like, it's freaking difficult. It is difficult to if you want to get gameplays, because what they do is they put you with guys who are your league. You would think that, because I mean, I got another account where I do for trolls and that kind of stuff, and that KD is like a 0.5 because we're just fooling around and irritating people. But in that, when we join those matches to play with other people and mess around, they've got 2 to 3 to 4 KD. There's one guy's name is MX Monster in Japan. I think this guy must be like, he must be playing COD every day, because I'm always in his lobby if I set my things to best. And this MX guy, his KD is like a 3, and he's like 8 prestige or something. And that guy's like a freaking beast. Now just put it in perspective. I'm joining with a noob account at 0.50 KD, and I'm getting matched with a guy who's 3 KD, level 8 prestige. How is that even possible? And then on my main account where I'm trying to prestige, I run into guys who freaking 4 or 5 KDs. My KD is like so freaking low. It's only nearing 1 right now. Yet there are guys who are running around with... I mean, like, I'm not the freaking best player in the world. I mean, I have some games where I go like 24 and 2 or something like that. And those are good gameplays to upload to YouTube. I've got them stored. I'm not going to upload just yet. Just saving stuff for Christmas. I'm going to upload all my gameplays one time, and then I'll be gone home to South Africa. So I won't be on YouTube, to put it lightly. But in general, I'm just saying, these guys have to fix their game. They have to fix their game, because the scale matchmaking is freaking terrible. I'm positive in Christmas or something like that, they're gonna say something like open house and we can play with anyone. Then we can get gameplays, and then it'll be awesome to get those videos. Anyways, yeah guys, that's my thoughts on Black Ops 2. I don't think it's a bad game. I just think there's a whole lot of smaller faults. But I will say I'm happy that these guys are fixing small things. They're working on, they're doing patches. That's what we have to look at. Like, they're doing something. I mean, I play other games and I have problems and no one fixes that shit. I mean, I play WWE. Look at the WWE. There's over like 15 to 16 freeze glitches. There's no one fixing that shit.